Hello and welcome to the Leveling Up podcast with me, George Swift from Bigger, Brighter, Bolder. I'm also the founder of BBB Success Groups for ambitious entrepreneurs and extreme growth masterminds. The Leveling Up podcast is here to give you the personal development, the entrepreneurial development, and the business growth that the ambitious business owner desires. We're here to give you the inspiration, the motivation, and to challenge your aspirations to take you and your business to the next level. Don't forget to join us every Monday and Wednesday for mindset, attitude, personal performance, and business growth content. And every Friday when we do our Friday 5-minute fix. Don't forget to subscribe and never miss an episode. Okay, so today we are looking at what does good look like. Specifically, your industry. What does good look like in your industry? Now, every industry has got its best performance. Every industry has got its worst performers. Every industry has got its charlatans and its snake oil salesmen and everything else, okay? I want to ask you this really simple question. What does good look like? In fact, forget that. What does fucking awesome look like in your industry? Unfortunately, I can't put that in the title. They probably won't let me have it. But what does fucking awesome look like in your marketplace? I see so many business owners who are so good at what they do. They're so honest, they're authentic, they're reliable. They give top level service or they create top end products. They really care about what they do and they really care about their clients and they do what they can to give the best possible service that's possible for them to do so. And yet I see so many of them struggling. I see so many struggling and they can see it as well. They can see so many other people in their industry, in their marketplace, who just aren't anywhere near as good as them, but they're doing so much better than them in business. So I want you to think in your business right now, I want you to think, what does good look like in your industry? You know, think about the results that you promise. Think about the outcomes that you market or the problems that you solve. Think about what your clients really want. Think about what you as a potential client would really want. What would blow your socks off? What would absolutely amaze you? And then what you think, is it possible to create a product and a service at the highest level that meets those kinds of standards and expectations that you have, whilst also creating a successful business? I do believe you absolutely can be honest, you can have integrity, and you can be authentic, and you can still make a load of money in your business. Authentically, with integrity, and honestly. What a lot of people tend to do is they look at some of these people in their industry who are absolutely flying and making loads and loads of money, but what they see is someone massively compromising, maybe on quality of service, or let's be honest, some of them out there are just selling bullshit, right? And they do it really well. My industry is full of snake oil salespeople. The personal development industry. It got to a point, I'll share this with you right now, it got to a point for about 2 months earlier this year, I was really considering pulling out of online. Like, we have such an amazing reputation in our masterminds, in our offline groups and everything else, okay? In our area, in our location, we have such an amazing reputation here. But the moment you go online and you start talking about leveling up, or you start talking about extreme business growth, or in our masterminds are extreme growth masterminds, where every person, when they come in, we challenge them to double their turnovers. Every person in that room has to be doing over 100K. Okay, most of them do much more than that. We've got people in there doing millions. And we start from a point of saying, right, what would it take to double your turnover in the next 12 months? So the moment I start talking about masterminds and saying, come to our masterminds and double your turnover. Come to our, success groups online and let's look at fast tracking you to 6 figures. Let's come to my success group plus mastermind. And this is like an entry-level mastermind that we have that takes business owners from 30, 40, 50K, 60K, some of them, and pushes them over that 100K revenue. From there, the invite is to come and join our Extreme Growth Masterminds. From there, you go from 100 to 200 to 400. We've had people that have joined us in success groups doing 40K. They break the 100K mark, join Extreme Growth Masterminds, go from 100 to, I think it was about 160, 180 last year, tracking for 400 grand this year. We've had people go from 150, 350, 750, 1.5, 2.2 million consecutive years. So here's the thing, offline we have an unbelievable reputation. We get results. People know that we're honest. They know we have integrity. They know we provide the service. Everything in my business is designed to get the result. Get the result for the member. Get the result for the client. We put in systems and computer systems. We've got staff in place to get people to do what they need to do in order to get the result that we promise when we say level up, extreme growth, 2 times this, break 100K, 6-figure fast track. All the promises we make, we back them up with systems, processes, content. We back them up with goal setting, accountability, and environment and culture that we've created to support people. And then on top of that, we then employ staff to make sure that they're constantly in communication with all of our members to make sure that our members actually deliver what they need to deliver in order to get the result that they signed up for and we sold them right at the beginning. So I want you to think about this for a moment, okay? Our reputation is immense offline. Online, I just sound like everyone else. Level up, extreme business growth, 2 times this, 2 times that, 10x that, whatever it is. You just end up sounding like everybody else, and anyone can say that. And guess who wins online typically? It's the best fucking marketer. The best marketer is the one that wins online. Now, the best marketer in my industry is not always, and I'll go as far as saying maybe rarely, the best person. Does this make sense? The best business. So my message to you today is really one that's close to my own heart, having just gone through this when I really considered backing off of online and just not playing that game and just getting out of that, right? Just getting out of that bloody game and just saying, you know what? I don't want to play. I don't want to commit. And then regrouping, because I asked myself this question. In fact, I had someone that helped me, a guy called Al Tepper, and he helped me with these questions. And the question that we looked at was, what does good look like in my industry? And I know what looks shit. I know what's crap. I can see it. Sometimes I'm bewildered by why other business owners who are buying into some of the stuff that's obviously working online, I'm bewildered by what they're not seeing because I can just see it. Maybe because I'm inside the game. Maybe I've been around that long that I can just see bullshit. I can smell bullshit. I can sense it from a mile away. But it works, okay? And the question is really simple. I don't want to, and I will never become something that violates either my integrity, my honesty, or my authenticity, no matter how much it pays. And I mean that. And that's a promise I've made to every single person that I've ever worked with. Tracy, my partner in life and in this business, I've sat down and said to her, absolutely, at no point will I violate our integrity, our honesty, or our authenticity for a penny, not even if it's £1 million. And once that line is drawn in the sand, I cannot go there, right? So now I can't play that game. So 100% you've got to get good at marketing. 100% because you've got to get in that game. And I was really considering backing out of that game and just saying, you know what? I'm just going to build my offline empire. Because like you spend an hour with me, you spend a day with me. You know, people that then spend a year with us in our groups. We've got people, we did an interview last week, you heard with Rob Goddard. Rob's been with us for 7.5 years since we started Success Groups right from day one. As soon as we joined our Extreme Growth Masterminds, he went into Extreme Growth Masterminds 4.5 years ago. He's been with us and still is with us to this day. So I've got people who've gone, like Rob, from 150K all the way through to running a multi-million pound business and multiple 6-figure businesses, and he's still with me. He's still in my group. He's still a part of what we do. Now, I want you to think about that for a moment because I'm willing to bet that if you're watching this right now, you have integrity, authenticity, and you have honesty. And I'm willing to bet that with the clients that really respect you and understand what you're doing, I bet you have some real long-standing clients there. They really get you. Now, the question is really simple with all marketing and everything else is how the hell do I communicate that into the external world? In a 1-minute video or a 30-second clip on, Instagram or in a meme or a post or in an ad. How do I convey that without looking like every other person out there? Some of which may be legit and good, many of which are just fucking good at marketing, right? So what do? How do you say, come and 10x this? Everyone's saying, come and 10x this. In fact, you're getting like all these results and everything else, right? And they may or may not be getting those results, but on paper, in a 3-minute video campaign, you look the same as them. The chances are they're a little bit more polished than you, they may have a bit more budget than you, and they may well be marketing a lot better than you. So guess what? They look the real deal and you look like a second-class citizen, And yet the chances are it's probably the other way around. You're probably the real deal, and it's very possible that they really are not delivering the result they're promising. In fact, some of the promises and half the promises I see in my own industry out there, they're impossible to get. Like one person out of 1,000 might get the results they're talking about. And for me, when we're selling our products and our services, and when we took Success Groups and put it online, and we wanted to get this out to a wider field, a wider community of small business owners, and help them start to deliver the results and to get the success that they want. And for me, it's the success they deserve as well, given the sacrifice that we make as entrepreneurs, the time and the energy that we put into our businesses, the mental energy, the emotional strains that it puts on us. I do believe that business owners really do deserve that success. So we set up to target that. We did an amazing job offline, created incredible results offline. We have a great reputation offline. I then go online and I'm like, shit, man, how do I compete with this? Because I'm just saying what everyone else is saying. And the fact that I may or may not know, but away with some of these people, they're not getting that result. And if they are getting that result, it's like one person in 100 or one person in 1,000. Whereas at Success Groups, Extreme Growth Masterminds, we are intensely focused on every single member of our clubs and our masterminds. Every single person gets the same service, the same quality, they get the same input, they get the same amount of support and accountability. So my question to you is, listening to what I'm saying here, right? And what I've gone through, and looking at your own business and your own industry sector, start asking yourself, what does good look like? Because when you understand what good looks like, okay, in your industry, that gives you your angle for how to penetrate the marketplace in a different way than maybe other people are. Everybody, in my opinion, right, has gone to the same school of marketing. Find a pain, find a desire, find a want or a need, and then promise it. That's simple. And people, we so want to buy the magic pill, the magic bullet. We so want to buy that. And someone says to me, convincingly enough, George, I will make you £1 million. Look in my eyes, let's make it happen. Grease my palms, let's go. Right? It's a great sale, it's a great market employ, and then guess what happens? So many times, it fails to deliver on the back end. I bet this isn't your first rodeo. I bet you've done other things like this. I bet you've followed other people on podcasts, or you've been a member of groups or networking, or maybe even done some programs, or you've gone to marketing this, or you've gone, whatever it might be, right? And it hasn't worked, it hasn't delivered, but they did a fucking awesome sales job on you, right? And you feel like a right mug at the end of it and everything else. You're not, by the way, because it's in our human nature to desire the outcome and the wins. And if someone can package it up convincingly enough, then of course, it's in us to buy that hope, that dream and everything else. This is marketing that came out of I think it was 50s in America. They went from utilitarian marketing, as in, here's some shoes, you need shoes, buy some shoes. And they went to these shoes will make you feel sexier, younger, healthier, more vibrant. These shoes will make you, a classier person, a better person. I think it's about the 1950s that kind of marketing took off in America, and it's never ceased since. Buy the emotion, buy the promise, rather than actually the function. Does this make sense? This, sell the sizzle, not the sausage. You've heard that before, sell the sizzle, not the sausage. The trouble is, what do you do when everyone's selling the greatest sizzle ever? And half the sausages out there are just shit and full of sawdust and may not even be animal meat. And then the other half of them are varying degrees of, yeah, great. And there's a few fucking awesome sausages out there, but they all look the same because they're all saying, look at my sizzle, look at my sizzle, look at my sizzle. So I want you to take a moment and think about your own business. What does good look like? What does good look like in your industry? Now, maybe to some degree like me, before I could get to the question of what looks good in my industry, I had to look at what really pissed me off in my industry online, and I had to look at what really got my goat and what I absolutely was repelled and even repulsed by with my own industry online. And first of all, I started from that place. And then I moved into what does good look like? Because it's okay sitting there saying, well, that's crap and they're not doing this properly. And, they're just selling, snake oil, and this person's selling a promise, but it's not legit. And this person's saying they do goal setting, but they don't actually do goal, whatever it might be, right? And then you work out and say, right, that's a shit marketing tactic, by the way, to go out and just slack off your competition. So what do? You sit and say, right, forget about that. I need to say, what does good look like? And communicate to my audience, what does good look like? So my game, right? It's about making sure that when someone joins your club for business growth, that whilst my education is brilliant and whilst what I'm saying is like wisdom, and if you applied what I say in the right ways for your business, you will get results. There's no question about it. And whilst I'll back that all day long, I'm the first person to tell you this: the knowledge is not going to get you the result. What's going to get you the result is the application of that knowledge. And what happens in my industry is everyone's selling knowledge. Everyone's selling you like how to do something, what to do, but they're not getting you to actually do it, the implementation. So you'll buy the next 1,500 quid marketing product or the next like £3,000 12-month program to get your digital marketing sorted or Facebook ads or whatever it might be. But here's the thing. About 5% of people actually do what they're taught to do in any kind of seminar education kind of environment. So literally 95% of people who, even when they hear the right thing, still don't do anything with it. So for us in our business, that would make us a massive failure because actually we're not in the education game, despite everything's led with education, understanding what it is to be an entrepreneur, understanding what it is to be a human being, how to get the most performance out of ourselves. And then we also look at sales and we look at some marketing activities in terms of, we look at our position in the marketplace, we do pricing. And a lot of what we do comes back to our mindset. So our mindset around pricing, not just how to do the pricing, we do that as well, how to raise prices, but a big part is you have to get the right mindset in order to take action on that and actually implement it. So many of my members have doubled their prices. I've had people quadruple their prices, not because I showed them how to do it, but because we got into the mindset and the psyche, we got into the attitude, we got into the personal human performance, we got into the behaviors and the actions, the fears, the doubts, the blocks, the walls, all these things, and we break those things down so that people can actually take action on what it is they're learning. Then guess what we do? We put an entire infrastructure behind that to then make people do it, to hold them accountable to doing it. So everyone joins, they do a 10-hour goal setting program with me. They have to do it, okay? Non-negotiable. They do the 10-hour goal setting, they've now got their goals. They then put their goals in our bespoke system that we've created, a goal setting system that sits as an app on the web, and everyone's plugged into that, myself included, by the way. And the goal setting system helps you set the right goals, helps you map out your goals, and then hold you accountable to your goals. Then on top of that, we have staff that then come in and hold you accountable to that as well, and also to help you, coach you, mentor you as well through the blocks, the barriers, the good times, the bad times, the emotional stuff, the personal shit that gets in the way of being an entrepreneur. We've put it all in place. The first person we ever hired in our business was a customer support person. The second person we hired was a marketing person. The third person was a customer support person. We doubled down on customer support. Why? Because we're not in the education game. Education is the knowledge and we push that. And then what we back that with is an entire infrastructure to actually get people bought into their goals, to turn up to their goals and actually take action in order to achieve those outcomes. Constantly improving our knowledge whilst constantly improving our application of that knowledge. That's what works for us. And if we do it right and we put all that in place, we're not in the education game, we are in the business growth game. We get people to raise their own game, to level up themselves as a business owner so that they can level their business up. That's what this whole podcast was born out of, was the idea of saying you've got to level up so that you can level up your business. And the majority of the content on this podcast is going to be mindset, attitude, personal performance. There'll also be some really good business growth stuff. But if we don't level up, then we can't do what we need to do in our business. And if we're not held accountable, so in the business, we put all the infrastructure in place to hold people accountable and to coach them and mentor them to help them through the tougher times and through their own internal blocks and barriers to get them into a place where they're being who they need to be and doing what they need to do to get the result that they signed up for and that we sold to them. That, for me, is what looks good in my industry. A commitment to getting people the outcome that you sell them and that they buy into. An absolute commitment. Not to create a sales organization that becomes fucking awesome at marketing and selling success groups, extreme growth masterminds, but creating a business that is an expert at getting people the growth they signed up for. So now I've talked a lot about my business, right? But the reason is I want you to reflect on my own lessons that I've gone through very recently, by the way. And I've come out online with an absolute bloody vengeance, by the way, because I've gone from thinking, right, you know what? Yes, I'm going to do my marketing. Yes, I have to do my marketing. I have to play that game. But wherever possible, I'm going to beat the shit out of this drum, which is, this is what fucking good looks like. Now, this isn't going to be for everybody. I appreciate that. And Success Groups isn't for everybody. That's not what it's about. It's for the people who see it for themselves. They can see that you're the real deal, as in you're the product that's going to get them the result that they want. That's what it's all about. Not pleasing everybody, not promising some bullshit you can't do. I'll tell you now, first thing I'm going to tell you now is hard work. I do the 6-figure fast track, right? It's how to get your business to 100K or more in 12 months or less. So you might be doing 20, 30, 40, 50, 60K. And it's saying, right, here are the rules. Here's what you've got to look at. Here's what you don't want to do. Here's what you do want to do. It starts off with a webinar, and then from the webinar, I invite people to come and spend some time free of charge to come and check us out on Success Groups. So they come in, they check out our Success Groups, they check out all our content, they check out what we're doing, they get a feel and a vibe for what we're doing there. Then after that, we invite people to join for a year. And nobody comes in for 1 month, nobody comes in for 2 months, nobody comes and pays and then leaves. It's not about that. You sign up for a fucking year, because I tell you what, we are committing 100% to getting you the result. You need to commit 100% to us. That's it. Otherwise, it doesn't work. That's what good looks like in our industry. I'll commit to you, you commit to me. Now let's get this working. Once you join, by the way, Success Groups, get this. Once you join Success Groups, there is nothing else to buy until you hit 100K. And then we invite you to join a mastermind. That's it, right? That's it. And when you're in a mastermind, there's nowhere to go. We don't add on sales. We're not giving you any other products. The moment you join our club, we work on your business to grow your business. That's it. There's no add-on sales. There's no extra marketing, nothing. Seriously, absolutely nothing. We just give content. We give value. We have a marketer that comes in and gives top-level marketing advice. We have our members. They run sessions in the club. We had a great session from Rob, who I interviewed last week. We had a great sales session from him where he was talking about how to do sales, especially how to sell into bigger companies. We've had some experts come in and do content around LinkedIn and around processes and systemization. Does this make sense? So I know I keep banging my own drum and I'm beating my own drum with you, but I'm telling you now, it's because, number one, I'm super passionate about it. And number two, it's because I really did go through this crisis of confidence in my own industry and just not wanting to be any part of that bullshit. And I've woken up and resurrected the other side. And there's a little bit of fuck you going on in terms of my attitude. And it's really about saying, you know what, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is our content. The podcast is full of amazing, valuable stuff. It's the same stuff, that has been, in Success Groups and kind of hidden behind the closed doors of Success Groups for like 7 odd years. And I want to get it out there and start sharing this stuff with the wider community of small business owners that really want to achieve the success they want to achieve. So my takeaway for you is this. Here's my analogy that I got for myself. You can take it for yourself or you can work one out for yourself. But having a model that kind of makes sense to you, as in who you are as a business or who you are as a business person or what your product is as a product in the marketplace, having a model, a concept is really powerful. So I want to share mine with you. And then you absolutely can take these for yourself if they make sense to you, or come up with your own. The first one is the Holy Grail, okay? So this came to me as we were going through this process, what does good look like? And the Holy Grail, and I was really thinking particularly about the the Indiana Jones film, okay? And in the Indiana Jones film, he goes for the Holy Grail, okay? And there's a greedy guy there, and they finally get to this room and there's all these like grails there, different grails, right? Different cups and goblets and stuff. And the greedy guy goes in and it's his beautiful, most ornate with jewels and everything else, right? And he says, that has got to be the Holy Grail. So he takes it, drinks it, it kills him dead, right? The real grail, if you know the film, is this dusty little cup. It's the humble cup, right? The little humble cup. It's unassuming, but it's there and it's powerful. And Indiana Jones takes it, drinks from it, and it is the Holy Grail. And without being blasphemous or anything else, for me, I thought, you know what? That's what my business is. It's the Holy Grail. We don't have the best marketing. We're not the most polished company. Christ, I'm not the most polished person, right? So there's no point me trying to go out there and be like these other companies that have got their Holy Grails out there, these big cups and diamonds and it's all this big promise and that. We're more that little humble cup that if you're, if you happen across us and you start to see what we're about, and especially if you get in with us and start working with us, and if you're a member of ours, suddenly you realize this incredible power of this very humble cup, that was somewhat unassuming at first glance. And I thought, that is my business, that's it. I don't want to be the big cup. I don't want to be out there doing all the bullshit. I don't want to do that. Everyone else is doing that, right? I want the humble cup. The next thing I had, right? So that's it. If that fits you, I'll tell you, you can have it. The other one for me was a piñata. And I thought, you know what? It's like some of these other companies that I see out there with online marketing, they're so good at marketing. It's like the perfectly wrapped present. It's the most beautiful wrapped, perfect present, right? And you open it up, you buy this present, because it's like when you were a kid, it's like the biggest present you could have, right? It was always the most exciting. You buy this big present and you unwrap it and you go in, and inside it is another fucking present. You're like, you kidding me? There's nothing in there but another present. In other words, you bought this amazing thing, you open it up, and then you got to buy the next thing. It's like another present you're buying. Now, I'm sure you've seen this before. You go to the one-day event, and all they're doing on the one-day event is selling you the 3-day event. You go on the 3-day event, they give you a little bit of like give back, and they're trying to flog you on a 5-day course. On the 5-day course, they give you a little bit more content, but they're trying to flog you onto a 2-week course or onto a 12-month course. And at every level, you open your little parcel, and there's just another parcel you've got to pay for, and you open that, and it's always promise after fucking promise. And eventually, you either get there, if it's, there is something legit there, or you just end up opening empty parcels until there's nothing there. And you know what? You think, I don't know what I've done with my money, I don't know what I've done with my time. Only recently I met someone that had gone onto a club and done 12 months, and literally, like she said, nobody in that club for 12 months grew their business. Not one person, not significantly, and not one person stayed on beyond the year. I'm like, what? And then she wanted to join my club. And I say, okay, brilliant. She said, I can't afford it. I said, okay, but what about the money you made at the other club? I didn't make any money at the club. Right, but the money you first invested in that club must have made that back, right? It's only a few thousand quid or a couple of thousand. Didn't make that back. I'm like, what? So you spent a couple of grand, were in an education program for business growth for 12 months. You didn't even get the 2 grand you spent on it or whatever back. My mind was completely blown. This was all going on during this whole period where I'm like, fuck my industry. Anyway, so then what came out of that was this, right? Empty parcel, empty present. Promise at every level, right? Beautifully wrapped up, beautifully marketed, and always full of a promise that's never there. And then my model is like this. It's the rag-tailed piñata, right? And it's this thing, and if you beat it with a stick, it bursts full of stuff. And I'm like, that's what we are. I said to Tracy, my partner in the business and in life, I said, that's what we are. That's what Success Groups is. That's what BBB is. It's this like ragtail looking thing on the outside. It's not the most polished thing on the outside. It's not the most perfect thing. But you beat it with a stick and it is full. Absolutely full. I've just given you a glimpse today of the stuff that's going on. I'm trying desperately not to go into a full-on sales pitch here, right? But honestly, I've given you a glimpse of what we've got going on behind the scenes. It is literally, you beat it with a stick and people join us, and when they join us, they're like, oh my God, there's so much more than you even said. No matter how much I sell it, people say, yeah, there's so much more. There's so much more going on than you said. This thing that you said that I didn't really appreciate, but once I've been in it 3 months, 6 months, oh my God, it becomes so much more, you realize the value of it. I've got people who've been in my club now for like Rob, 7.5 years, Caroline, 7.5 years. I've got people in there 5 years, 6 years, 4 years, 3 years. Our retention is insane. People join us and they stay. Why do they stay? Because it's working. That's it, right? It's as simple as that. If it wasn't working, they wouldn't stay. So I want you to think like that. They're my 2 models I keep coming to. Like piñata, that's it. Whack us with a stick, and there is so much value in here, so much give in here, more than you could ever possibly even probably consume. As opposed to the empty fucking promise of one parcel after another, like some awesome, like awful, fucked up kind of pass the parcel game where nobody ever wins anything, right? Or the Holy Grail. Anyway, reflect on that. Have a model for yourself. Get to grips with yourself. If you're saying the same things as everybody else, you just look like everybody else. If you're playing the same game as everybody else, the chances are there's people out there playing it way better than you. So for me, really understand, what does good look like in your industry? What does good look like for your clients? Look at yourself, look at your business, look at the honest eyes, authentic eyes with integrity, and really look at not only just creating a business that does that, but I'm talking to you like I think you probably already have this. Like most of you out there, I believe you already have this honest, authentic, product that's built out of integrity that delivers. I believe you have it, right? What you got to then do is say, right, what does good look like? That's my pitch, that's my angle, that's what I communicate. And there'll always be people that want to buy the biggest, shiniest cup, right? There'll always be people out to do that. And they can do that, and then when that doesn't work for them, maybe they'll come back to you, right? And they'll buy your little grail. So get your model right. Ask yourself, what does good look like? Get your marketing message on point with that. Stop playing the game that everyone else is playing. I can't promise you you're going to make as much money then, but I can promise you this. You'll feel good about what you're doing. You'll feel good about your business. You'll have authenticity. You'll be honest. You'll have integrity. And you will also be more successful than you are right now. That is a promise I can make. Awesome, guys. Food for thought there. So if you are a business owner and you aren't yet doing 100K, I mentioned it earlier on this podcast, the 6-figure fast track, completely free of charge webinar. I've even shown you what happens. You go to the webinar, I invite you to come and have a look around, stick your nose around success groups for a week and just see what we're about, okay? That's it. That's the sales process, nothing more than that. Once you're with us for a week, then you have a chat with Tracy. She talks about how we can help you. You're in or you're out. That's it. We don't want anyone in we can't help. Really simple. We don't want anyone in that's not going to help themselves. It's that simple. So I've even shown you the process you're going to go through when you get there. But honestly, there's a 6-figure fast track webinar, absolutely free of charge. You go in there, you watch it. It talks about the mindset, the modeling, and the methodology that you need to have in place in order to create a 100K business. Go in there and consume that. If you like what I'm saying there, then sign up for a 7-day trial with Success Groups and see what we're about. If you like that, I would love to welcome you into our humble little community where we make shit happen. Awesome, guys. Listen, hope you've had a great day so far. I will see you next time. And until then, as always, be successful.